Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 140 of my wrestling recap show, and today we're doing a pay-per-view review for AEW. We have Forbidden Door in Long Island, New York at the UBS Arena, and this is a great show. I love the concept of Forbidden Door. It's AEW wrestlers going up against other promotions wrestlers, mainly New Japan, but there's also CMLL. They have New Japan Strong, and there might be another one, but regardless, this is a massive show, one of the biggest ones for AEW, and we're going to review that bitch. But before we get into the main card, we got to talk about the pre-show, because there was a ton of matches on the pre-show. There's just a ton of matches in general. That is AEW's bread and butter. When they have a pay-per-view, they're going to have like 13 plus matches, and that's what we're in for. So let's get to the pre-show, kicking this one off with maybe 17 people in the building. We got Kyle Fletcher versus Serpentico. Fletcher wins in a dominating fashion with a wicked turnbuckle brainbuster thing. It's a squash match, and I mean, like, no offense, like, it's good to have people on the card and stuff like that, but absolutely no reason to have this on even the pre-show. Like, there was no one in the building, barely. A squash match. Serpentico could have a match. Like, come on now. 2 out of 10. Like, I don't even know how to score this. Like, it's not even really a match. So, I don't know. We move now to the 4-way tag team match. It's House of Black, Malachi and Brody versus Private Party, Cassidy and Quen versus Kid and Strong versus O'Reilly and Ishii. We have Kid with the nasty chops to O'Reilly and then gets in a barking match with Brody. That's fun. Ishii is unfazed by the chops. He just eats it. That made me burst out laughing. Ishii then dumps Brody on his head with a brainbuster. That was terrifying. Private Party stereo dives, wipes out everybody. Malachi nails the end Dante's Inferno on Cassidy, and House of Black pick up the W. I must say, Kid has some wicked-ass chops. Those were nice. Some solid action throughout, but again, you know, outside of Ishii being in this match, doesn't really have much Forbidden Door flavor to it. Just kind of felt like a Collision Dynamite match. Nothing really special. 5.5 out of 10. Now we get to Momo Watanabe and Chris Statlander teaming up together with Hathaway versus Tam Nakano and Willow Nightingale. Tam, nice heel kick to Chris. Willow gets the hot tag, a stiff boot, and a power bomb to Momo. Willow avalanche Death Valley driver. Momo kicks out of that. And then Momo comes back with a nifty driver, gets a near fall on Willow. And then Momo, she runs into the pounce. Tam hits Momo with the hammerlock German suplex and picks up the W. An enjoyable tag team match featuring New Japan Strong and AEW women wrestlers. I like the mix. Momo and Tam, they were really good. I thought they were, I don't know if they have like a long-going beef in their company, but I enjoyed their chemistry with one another. Willow and Chris, they fought each other enough without blowing up their upcoming one-on-one match this week. So they weren't going at it, didn't give up the whole entire match, but yeah, I liked it. Just a good little teaser right there. 6.5 out of 10. We have a Owen Hart Foundation tournament match. It's Mariah May with Tony and Luther versus Saraya with Cameron. We get a nice diving drop kick by May. An even better sell from Saraya. She just goes flying across the ring. Great stuff. Mariah headbutt, numerous strikes, nails the hip attack, and Cameron distracts May. Tony comes over to take out Cameron. Saraya super kick, nails the rampage, but May able to grab the ropes. Saraya gets cocky. Mariah, lovely roll up, catches Saraya. May grabs the big W and advances in the tournament. Yeah, solid performance here from both women. Not the longest match, just a good, serviceable, fine match. 5.5 out of 10. We get a trios match. This is the final match on the pre-show. I have never seen this many matches on a pre-show in my life. Amazing. Anyway, trios tag. It's Titan, Tsuji, and Takahashi versus Penta, Rey Fenix, and Mystico. Phoenix, beautiful dive and flipping counter out of the DDT. Thumbs up for that. Takahashi rolling power bombs Mystico to the frickin' floor. That was a brutal bump for Mystico. Thumbs up. Lucha Bros go to work off the hot tag. Nice assisted splash. Teton, awesome combo DDT, and then super kicks Ray's frickin' face off. Mystico, Tornado. We get the Fear Factor by the Bros. Phoenix, beautiful armbar. Titan forced to tap out. Lucha Bros and Mystico pick up the W in a very good flashy trios tag team match to finish out this pre-show. Crowd nice and warmed up now by the wicked high flying, the stiff strikes. Fuck yeah. 7.5 out of 10. And now we get to the main card. And of course, we gots to be kicking it off with the hometown hero. It's Maxwell Jacob Friedman going up against Hechicero. Great hometown reception for Max, who is rocking some New York Islanders-inspired gear. I like it, not bad. Max tries to crowd surf as well. That doesn't go very well. He does get up there, but they don't, surf the man, and then he accidentally kicks someone in the head. Oh well, it happens. We get the Mad Scientist bomb by Hechicero, hurts Max's arm. Hechicero wicked knee strike, hilariously does a flare walk and then flips off the crowd. That was some good shit. Hechicero flips Max into an armbar, which was fucking awesome. I don't even know how they did that, but it was wicked. Thumbs up. Max Long Island Sunset and a Brainbuster puts away Hechicero. Good opening match right here. Crowd was super hot. Not like the most competitive back and forth match, a little bit short. I wish it was a little bit longer, but yeah, a good way to open up the show. 7 out of 10. We move on to a trios tag team match. It is the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson and Okada versus the Acclaimed, Bowens, Caster, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Max, pretty good rap. He rhymes bitch with bitch a solid 4 times. You can't do that, dog, but it was still pretty good. Okada keeps avoiding Tanahashi. Bucks get scissor me timbered by the Acclaimed. Bowens avoids a Rainmaker, hits the Arrival. Max hits the mic drop, and Tanahashi splash is blocked by the Okada knees, which looked extremely painful for both men there. Okada hits Tanahashi with the Rainmaker, and the Elite pick up the W. Pretty solid trios match. The Acclaimed had a strong performance, I felt. The Elite were entertaining, trolling the crowd. And Okada, he is just full-on troll mode right now. Avoiding Tanahashi was funny. He did get a little bit of fighting with him, but yeah, solid stuff. 6.5 out of 10. We have the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament match. It is Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi, one of the biggest matches on this card. Bryan's neck is heavily taped up, and I mean heavily. He's got 70 pieces of tape around his neck. It's just insane. Shingo catches Bryan's dive, hits a brutal-looking neck breaker on the floor. Danielson mean elbows and a super backplex. Shingo powers up Bryan for a driver, a superplex, and a running lariat, gets the near fall. Shingo hits a brutal lariat and the Made in Japan, but Danielson kicks out again. Danielson, at this point, can't even stand on his own. Shingo is hammering Danielson with elbows. And then Danielson miraculously transitions into a submission out of nowhere, hits a psycho knee. Shingo kicks out of that. Danielson kicking Shingo's head in, locks in a brutal armbar, damn near ripping Shingo's arm off. He was retching back on that thing. Shingo verbally taps out. We didn't see a tap, but that's what they said, and Danielson wins. My goodness, what an amazing performance from Danielson, telling a super compelling story with the tape on his neck and selling the injury, just amazing stuff. Shingo was also awesome. Brutal strong style match, nasty bumps, amazing selling. Fuck yeah, banger. 8.5 out of 10. We move now to AEW Women's Championship, Timeless Toni Storm with Luther and May defending against Mina Shirakawa. We get a cool Lady Liberty entrance for Toni. That was pretty neat. She dressed up like the statue. Mina targets Toni's knees, pulling off the figure 4 around the ring post. Some Bret Hart shit right there. Storm's hip attack misses. She crashes ass first into the steel steps. Mina dive takes out Toni and Luther. Mina avalanche DDT and an impaler, gets a near fall. Tony nasty hip attack connects this time. Mina kicks out. Mina then a sneaky roll-up, almost gets Storm, super close. Tony avoids a back fist, nails the Storm Zero to retain. Impressive performance from Mina. She was in control of Tony for a major part of this match. Tony resilience on display. She battles back. Near falls were crazy. Another banger match right here. Tony picks up Mina, and they finally settle their differences. They hug it out, and then we get ourselves a three-way kiss with May and Tony and Mina, and not everybody in the building is turned on at this point. That was some hot stuff right there. Yum. Now we moving on to Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack playing some mind games, tries to help Orange with his pockets, and he uses Orange's lazy kicks on Orange. Whoa. This wakes up Orange, who starts dragon screwing Zack Sabre to death. Diving DDT just flag pulls Sabre. He just, oh my god, that was so good. Zack avoids the Orange punch, snaps Cassidy's elbow and his fingers. Oh my god. Like, Pete Dunne does that as well, but Zack does it so much more, like, viciously. It is brutal. Orange punch connects, not full power from all the arm damage. Awesome counter from both ends, with Sabre catching Orange in an outrageous submission. Cassidy, all twisted up like a pretzel, is forced to tap out, and Sabre picking up an impressive W right here. An outstanding technical match. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the best technical wrestlers I have ever seen in my life, and I've seen a lot of some of the best technical wrestlers ever. This guy is up there. Beautiful, seamless transitions and counters. The stiffness was on point, and I loved Sabre out mind gaming Orange Cassidy. I don't think anyone has done that one before, but fucking Zack Sabre. 8.5. We move now to trios tag team action. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus Jeff Cobb, Big Bill, and Chris Jericho. Jericho is taunting Taz while he's whooping Hook's ass. Cobb, effortless standing moonsault, just squishes Hook. Cobb is a big-ass man, and the way that he just did that moonsault, like, wow. Shibata and Joe, they get some nice teamwork together. They get back into the match. Referee misses Brian Keith's low blow to Shibata. Hook T-bones Cobb and then runs into a code breaker from Jericho. Hook recovers, uses the Judas effect on Jericho, knocking him out cold, and they pick up the W. Pretty entertaining trios match right here. Crowd battling chants over Jericho was pretty funny to they were doing, you still got it, no you don't. It's like, come on y'all. So, all this hate with Chris Jericho. Anyway, Jeff Cobb was pretty good. Jericho was entertaining. Hook, admittedly a little rough around the edges. Not the best performance right here, but not bad. I mean, some of his T-bones were pretty good, but yeah, he's still a little green. 5.5. We move now to the match I'm probably most excited about. It's the TNT Championship ladder match. Winner will become the new TNT Championship, obviously, but the TNT Championship is vacant right now. There is no champion, so someone new is getting it. We got Mark Briscoe, Takeshita, Dante Martin, El Phantasmo, Lio Rush, and Jack Perry. Phantasmo reverse TKO's Rush through a freaking ladder, bro. Like, oh my god, we're almost kicking off with something like that. This match is going to be fucking crazy. Takeshita throws a ladder into Dante's face and then nails a brainbuster onto the ladder. Oh my god, dude. Briscoe leaps off of a chair. Senton dives Takeshita through a table and a ladder at the same time. Wow, thumbs up for that. We get ELP doing a titty twister to Jack Perry on top of the ladder for a good laugh right there. Briscoe jumps off of the ladder, hits the side of the table. He gets a little piece of Perry, but doesn't get it clean. But that looked hella painful. We get Takeshita last rides Leo into a freaking ladder, bro. Like, oh my god. There's going to be a lot of sore men after this one. Thumbs up. Takeshita ends ELP with a gorgeous, perfect blue thunderbomb through two tables. A perfect crash. The tables explode. Thumbs up. Briscoe hits the J Driller, hits that on Takeshita onto a ladder, of course. Perry then smashes Briscoe with a ladder and a bunch of chair shots. Perry climbs and pulls down the TNT champion, and Jack Perry is the new TNT champion. Fuck. I mean, I must say, man, I love ladder matches. How do you not love ladder matches? That was friggin' awesome. Just a spot fest with so many brutal ladder bumps, man. I don't know if I saw that many ladder bumps in a ladder match before. They were just going to town with them. Not the biggest names, necessarily in this match. ELP, Dante, and Leo Rush, they were fantastic. They were awesome in this match, flying around out there, taking huge bumps, and Takeshita, absolutely amazing performance. 9 out of 10. We move on now to the title for title match. It is the Women's Strong Championship, and champion Stephanie Vacour defending against the TBS champion Mercedes Moné. Vacour hits an impressive springboard arm drag and a crossbody dive to the outside. Shit was nice. Vacour drives Moné's head into the mat numerous times with her knees. The crowd loves it. They're going crazy for that. Moné hits an anti-air dropkick that looked hella painful. We get the bank statement is locked in and the crowd booing Moné, and they are in full support of Vacour at this point, and that's a little surprising. I think it's because it's the New York crowd, something to do with NBA, because Moné is from Boston, the Celtics won the championship, so I think that's why they're booing her. Anyway, crowd also chanting "fuck the Celtics," so yeah, there's definitely some hatred towards the Celtics. Vacour battles out of another bank statement. Numerous counters traded. Moné able to hit the moneymaker straight into the bank statement, and Vacour taps out. Mercedes Moné is now the new Women's Strong Champion and retains the TBS Championship. Another banger of the match right here. Vacour was fantastic. Her performance won over the whole entire island of New York. The New York Island, you know what I'm saying? And she won me over. I already liked her, but yeah, she was friggin' awesome. Thumbs up for her. Moné was also great. Match was filled with counters, great near falls, and the crowd was super hyper. I mean, they might have been hyper in the wrong ways where they weren't really paying attention to the match. There was one point where there was a Boston Celtics guy in the crowd wearing the Boston Celtics shirt, and they were just hammering that guy, and they seemed very focused on stuff that wasn't necessarily the match, but this was a great match. 8 out of 10. And now shit is getting real. You want to know why? Because JR is joining commentary for the final 2 matches of the night. That means they're going to be unreal. First, we have the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Jon Moxley defends against Tetsuya Naito. And we have Red Shoes officiating. Fuck yeah, I love that guy. And I don't know his name, but the announcer for New Japan, he is here as well. One of probably the greatest announcer ever. That dude hypes me up so much. I was there last year in Toronto when they had Forbidden Door, and that guy he gave me goosebumps every time he fucking announced the name. He's incredible. Naito is playing games and he's spitting on Moxley a whole bunch of times. That's just disgusting. Moxley is pissed. He's throwing chairs and stuff. Moxley is pushed off of the top rope. He crashes to the floor. Naito smacking John with the barricade cover. I don't know what that was about, but it was pretty funny. Moxley avalanche powerbomb, gets a near fall. Naito sliced bread, goes for another one, but Moxley counters into a Death Rider ×2. Naito kicks out of those. Moxley is pissed off at Red Shoes for the slow count. He grabs a chair. Red Shoes takes away the chair, and he holds onto it like he fucking will defend that chair with his whole entire life. We all love Red Shoes. That was great. Death Rider is countered into a sliced bread ×1.5 because one of them wasn't very good looking. And new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, it's Tetsuya Naito. Oddly entertaining match. I mean, Naito and Red Shoes, they were funny. Naito spitting on Moxley, pissing him off, and Red Shoes just not letting Moxley get away with shit. Pretty good. Match was good. A little bit methodical to start, slow, a little bit boring. It did ramp up, and the finish, admittedly, a little bit flat. Kind of just ended, and everyone was like, oh, okay, that's it, I guess. But not a bad match, not a great match. 7 out of 10. It's a good match. Now it is main event, y'all. The moment we've all been waiting for. AEW World Championship on the line. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defends against Will, by God, Ospreay. We get a cool Hayabusa tribute mask and a video for Ospreay's entrance. Real nice. Both men front flip counters at the beginning makes the crowd go absolutely wild. That was so cool. Ospreay crazy Rana off of the barricade, bro. Like, what? Thumbs up for that. Swerve counters Will's kick into a nasty backbreaker. Ospreay counter powerbomb transitions into the Styles Clash, gets a near fall. That was so cool, so nice. Danny Garcia is shown watching up in the stands for some reason. Swerve avalanche angle slam gets a near fall, and then Swerve off of the top rope stomps Ospreay into the side of the announce table. That was fucking brutal. Thumbs up. Swerve pile driver onto the friggin' barricade. Like, wow. Ospreay 2 Oz cutters out of nowhere. Swerve blocks the hidden blade. Ospreay Oz cutter Stormbreaker combo. Swerve kicks out of that. My God. Ospreay attempts the Tiger Driver. It's countered. Swerve hits a disgusting hidden blade. Like that thing, the impact just echoed through the whole arena. Thumbs up. Referee taken out by accident. He down. Don Callis arrives with a screwdriver. Prince Nana shoves Callis down trying to stop him. And then Ospreay about to stab Nana with the screwdriver. He decides not to commit murder on pay-per-view. A very smart choice. Swerve hits the house call ×2 and a stomp. Ospreay kicks out of that. Oh my goodness. Ospreay completely out of gas now. He can't even get up. Swerve is fully aware of this. He takes his time, nails another house call and the JML driver. Swerve retains. Oh my God, man, what a match. Incredible match. Swerve and Ospreay, amazing performances. They left everything in the ring right there. And the history between these two provided a great storyline. I was into it, the drama, and the chemistry between these two. Oh my God, man, they're counters and they're so fast. They know each other so well. It is amazing to watch. Fast counters, smooth transitions from one big spot to the next spot. Stiff as fuck, man. Like, oh, some nasty shots. Near falls were fucking insane. Possibly one too many for my liking, but the only other thing that I can complain about is the appearance of Don Callis. I mean, other than that, this was a fucking excellent match. 9.5 out of 10. And that is the end of the show. My goodness. So overall, things I didn't like about the show, just too many damn pre-show matches. Like, I think there was 5 or 6 of them. That's just way too many pre-show matches. Like, I know they're putting it on free on like YouTube and shit, but like, if I just watch, it was an hour and a half pre-show, and if I just watched an hour and a half of wrestling, it was pretty much all wrestling. Am I really wanting to now pay a bunch of money to watch 3.5 more hours of wrestling after I just got a whole bunch for free? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a good idea. And on top of that, no one was in the building for like the first 3 or 4 of those matches. So just kind of, I don't know about that, man. I don't like that. And I will say that some of the matches didn't have enough of that Forbidden Door flavor. You know, it didn't have enough of New Japan wrestlers in it. It was basically like there was a trio match with Ishii, and like he was the only guy from New Japan, and he barely did anything. So like that match wasn't really I wasn't feeling that. A lot of the storyline-less matches as well, which is expected. I'm not a huge minus on that because it is 2-3 different companies in this pay-per-view, so you can't expect them all to like correlate with each other to make a storyline work for Forbidden Door. The whole appeal of Forbidden Door is to see 2 wrestlers battle with each other that you thought you would never see. So, and they had that. They definitely did have that. Pros for the show, mostly great wrestling. So many bangers and a couple of match of the year contenders thrown in there. A couple dream matches like Shingo and Danielson going after each other. Ospreay and Swerve, though I've seen them before, I'll always watch that again. Great crowd. Overall, my favorite matches, Ospreay and Swerve. That's number 1. That was my favorite match. The ladder match, right there with it. And the Shingo versus Bryan Danielson match was also very awesome. My least favorite matches, the pre-show squash match. That was just pointless and just, I don't even know why that was there. And then the Learning Tree Trios match was kind of like, just felt like something you would see on Dynamite. Not all that special right there, but overall, a fucking awesome show. Though there was a crazy amount of wrestling matches. I think there's like 13 or 14 matches total. So many of them were so freaking good, and the crowd was eating it up. 8.5 out of 10 is my score for Forbidden Door. And let me know what you guys thought of the show. If you watched it, what was your favorite match? What was your least favorite match? And do you like Forbidden Door as a concept? Do you like other companies coming in? Do you think the Forbidden Door concept is working? Do you think it doesn't work? Honestly, I like it a lot. I am a big fan of Forbidden Door. I don't treat it as like a main company like AEW pay-per-view. I think of it as a special event. Like, this is something special on that, represents so many different companies. I love it. It'd be cool to see maybe WWE enter into something like that. Wouldn't that be fun? But yeah, man, I am down with Forbidden Door. Lots of fun. I don't get to watch a lot of New Japan Wrestling, so I love seeing these guys come down here. And now I'm getting much more familiar with them because of Forbidden Door. Like, I had no idea who Ishii was like 3 years ago. I didn't know who Naito was, or Tatsuya Naito, that's the same guy, but there's a lot of guys that I didn't know. The only one I really knew was like Okada. Like, that's about it. So I really like the idea of Forbidden Door. It would have been nicer if MJF could have had, maybe a little bit more put in towards this match, because, he's in his hometown. That match was a little bit short, and yeah, it was fine. It's just, I would have hoped for something a little bit better for MJF in his home crowd, but I thought the show was freaking awesome. It was one of the best shows that I've seen so far this year, but it was very, very long. A lot of wrestling to get through this weekend, and there's going to be even more next weekend, because we got Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave, I think it's called. So yeah, like I said, my wife and I were going to be there for that entire weekend. We're going to SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave. So we're going to be hella busy, hella tired, but it's going to be so much freaking fun. So definitely going to be looking out for that for next week. I'll have the Money in the Bank and the NXT Heatwave pay-per-view reviews, and of course the weekly recap. And in terms of what else we're doing this week with the podcast, the Hockey Cast is gonna be fucking crazy, bro. We had like 1,000 signings today on July 1st. It was bananas. The draft went down, a bunch of trades. It's going to be crazy. So it's probably going to be a long episode of the Hockey Cast this week. Hopefully that comes out on Wednesday. The GamerCast, I don't have anything solidified yet, but there'll definitely be something. Rather, I might be able to get the verses done, see if I can get that done. I want to do my, something sort of special for episode 100 of the GamerCast, so I'm gonna do probably my 20 favorite games of all time right now, and do something like that. I really wanted to do my top 100 games, do it in a 4-episode series, but that it's just not in the cards right now. That's just way too much work, and I just don't have that time right now to do it, but I can start slowly putting lists together and stuff like that. But yes, there will be a GamerCast, of course, this week, and yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. There's going to be a busy-ass week for the GX Plus cast, so make sure you're sticking around, following on Twitter and all that good shit. I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos. All the links are in the description. You can follow along down there. Great place. I would love if y'all would send in questions. I'd love to answer them for you on the podcast, shout you out, and all that great stuff. Anything about wrestling, video games, hockey, doesn't really matter, but that's my bread and butter right there, you know what I'm saying? So got an email address there as well. If you just want to have a private conversation, my door is open for y'all. And there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back again with some GX Plus Cast.